Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So in loop, okay, there are counter, control loop, and also sentinel control loop. Okay, counter control loop you can use for while and do while structure. While in sentinel control loop you can only use while and do while only. Yes, in sentinel control loop you cannot use for. This one cannot. Okay, so now, so let us look how to implement counter and also how to implement uh, sentinel. So in counter, we use initial value and then followed by condition, and then whether loop is going to continue or not is depend on the counter. Okay, let's say x equal to 1, for example. Okay, this is initial value, so x less than 5, and here x plus plus. Okay, this is counter. We use counter to control loop. Okay, meanwhile for sentinel control loop, okay, we use input to determine whether we want to proceed or we want to stop our loop process. Okay, like this one. Okay, here you will ask user to proceed or to stop looping. Okay, for example here, input status. Okay, and here let's say status not equal n, for example, and then here input status again. Okay, okay, here let's say you input n. Let's say that this is output, this is output, input status. Let's say you input n. So here status will be checked. Is n not equal to n? The answer is no. N is equal to n. So it will stop process. Okay, it will stop process. However, input status, if you input y, so status will check is y not equal to n. The answer is yes. Then it will continue looping. And here you need to input again. If you input n, then status will check n not equal to n. The answer is no. So then it stop looping. So this is how we use Sentinel control loop. So this is the difference. Okay, this is the first difference, whereby here you use initial value, initial variable, you initialize the value to the variable, and here you input. And this is the second obvious difference, whereby here you use counter and here you use input also. The implementation of counter control structure can be shown by this coding. Here we can see x equal to 1. This is, we want to initialize the value of loop control variable, and here we can see the condition of loop control variable will be tested, and here we can see the counter, okay, whereby the value of loop control variable will be added or will be increased. So before we begin to run this coding, when we look at the value of initial value, when we look at the condition, and when we look at the counter, then we know how many times the looping process is going to be executed. Let's say like this, or it starts from 1. So here x less or equal to 5, and here is the counter x plus plus. Then we know, before we start our coding, we know based on this value, we know that it is going to repeat 5 times. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so how to change this to Sentinel control loop? Okay, what we need to do first is to change the initialized value to input cin, for example, x. So we make a command prompt here, cout, please enter 1 if you want to continue. Okay. This is replaced by input, so this is input, the value of loop control variable. So 1 to continue, 0 to stop. Here, then we need to change the value of the condition while x equal to 1. So meaning that the loop will be continued if the value is 1, and otherwise it stops the process. So the condition of the loop control variable will be tested. 1 to stop, otherwise exit looping. And here we replace x plus plus with input, with user input cin x also, and here before this, okay, we can use command prompt cout to continue, enter 1, to stop, enter 0. Okay, so we replace the counter with user input to stop or continue looping. Okay, from this we know that whether we want to proceed or we want to stop the coding will be determined by user. Okay, let's say now we run. Okay, we try to run. Press 1 if you want to continue. Let's say if I input 0, so then it will stop looping even for the first time. So meaning that it even will not go for the first iteration. Okay, because you have decided to stop. But however, if you input or enter, press 1 if you want to enter continue. If you put 1, then it will display 1, meaning that it go for the first iteration. Then let's say you input 1, then it still repeat the process. Let's say you input 1, so it will continue. If you input 1, then it will stop when you input 0. So meaning that the number of repetition is actually depends on the value input by user. Compared to loop counter control structure or counter control loop, we know we can decide how many times looping is going to executed. It's going to be executed. But if it is Sentinel control, then the number of repetition is depends on input or user input. Okay, so that's all. Thank you.